10일 6일 9시 16분. A dog, a fox and a crow. A crow was sitting on a tree branch with a piece of delicious cheese in its mouth. A fox saw the crow and wanted the cheese. The fox thought and thought about how it could get the cheese. Finally, the fox had an idea. The fox said, "What a special bird! It is the most beautiful bird in the world. Are its songs as beautiful as its face?" These kind words made the crow very happy, and the crow wanted to sing a song for the fox. Though when the crow opened its mouth to sing, the cheese fell down. The smart fox quickly ran and got the cheese. Then the fox said to the crow, "You are very beautiful, but not very smart. Don't always believe people who tell you kind things." The fox and the woodcutter. Some hunters were chasing a fox. The fox saw a woodcutter and asked him for help. "Please hide me, kind woodcutter," the fox said. The woodcutter told the fox to go into his house. Soon the hunters came. They asked the woodcutter, "Did you see a fox?" The woodcutter said, "No," but pointed to his house. The hunters didn't know why the woodcutter pointed. They went away. After a while, the fox came out of the house. The fox didn't say thank you. The woodcutter got angry at the fox. "Why don't you say thank you?" he asked. "I wanted to thank you," the fox said, "but I saw you signal to the hunters. Your words did not match your actions. You should act and speak the same kindly." The Lion and the Mouse. A lion was sleeping happily when a mouse ran over its face. The lion woke up and was very angry. The big lion caught the little mouse to kill it. The mouse cried to the lion, "If you don't kill me, someday I will help you." Suddenly, the lion started to laugh. "A little mouse can help a big lion like me." The lion thought it was funny and let it go. Soon after that day, the lion was walking in the forest. Suddenly, it got caught in a net. The lion was very angry and roared it. The mouse heard the lion and ran to help. The mouse saw the net and started cheating on it. Soon the mouse chewed a big hole in the net, and the lion was free. "See," the mouse said, "you laughed at me, but even a little mouse can help a big lion." Being kind to someone is never a waste. The sick lion. One day an old lion realized that he was too old to hunt for food. The lion was sure he would soon die. He was very sad and went home. As he walked slowly home, the lion told the bird about his sad situation. Soon everyone in the forest heard about the lion's sad situation. The other animals all felt sorry for the lion, so one by one they came to visit the lion. The lion was old and weak but very wise. As each animal came into his home, they were easy to catch and eat. Soon the old lion became happy and fat. One day, early in the morning, the fox came. The fox was very wise too. He slowly came close to the lion's home. Standing outside, he asked if the lion was feeling better. "Hello, my best friend," said the lion. "Is it you? I can see you very well. You're so far away. Come closer, please, and tell me some kind words, because I am old and will die soon." While the lion was talking, the fox was looking closely at the ground in front of the lion's home. Finally, the fox looked up and said to the lion, "I am sorry, but I must go. I am very nervous because I see the footsteps of many animals going into your home, but I see none coming out again." He is wise to injured by the misfortunes of others. The dog and his shadow. A dog once had a nice piece of meat for his dinner. He was walking along with the meat in his mouth, as happy as a king. On his way home there was a stream. The dog stopped to look into the calm, clear water. What did the dog see in the water? He saw a dog looking up at him. This dog looked the same as our happy little dog, and even had a similar piece of meat in its mouth. I tried to get that meat too, said the dog, but as soon as he tried to bite the new piece of meat, his one meat fell out of his mouth and into a stream. Then he saw that the other dog in the water had lost his piece too. He went sadly home. That day he only had his dreams to eat. Be careful of losing something you have for something that may not exist. Telling the cat. One day all the mice came together to talk about the cat. We must think of a plan to get away from it, said one old mouse. He has eaten too many of us, so what shall we do? At last one proud young mouse stood up. You know, my brother, said the young mouse, the cat moves very quietly. We do not hear it quickly enough to escape. Let's tie a bell on the ground to catch an egg. Then we can hear it coming and run away. Yes, shouted all the mice. Our smart young friend has thought of an excellent plan. Let's go and buy a bell. But just then an old mouse spoke. Wait a minute, said the wise old mouse. Your plan is very good, but who will tie the bell on the cat? Then each mouse looked at another, and they all said, right. Who? It is easy to suggest difficult things, but it is hard to do them. The Hare and the Tourist. One day a hare was making fun of a tourist for being so slow. You think I am slow, said the tourist. Let's run a race, and I bet that I will win. Oh, really? Answered the hare. Let's try and see. Soon the hare and the tourist agreed that the fox would be the judge for their race. On race day, both the hare and the tourist met the fox at the starting line, both starting off together. Soon the hare was far ahead of the slow tortoise. The hare thought she could stop and take a rest. She found some nice comfortable grass to rest in and was soon in a deep sleep. Meanwhile, the tourist kept going and going. He was slow, for he never stopped. After a nice long sleep, the hare woke up. But there was a problem. She slept for too long. She jumped up and ran as fast as she could, but it was too late. The tourist had already crossed the finish line. Slow and steady wins the race. The stag at the lake. One very hot day, a tall, strong stag stopped to drink from a clear lake. When he took a drink, he could see his image in the water. My own are so beautiful, he said. They are so strong and graceful, but I'm still sad because my legs are so thin and ugly. At that moment, a lion came through the forest and tried to jump on the stag. The stag ran away very, very fast. The ugly legs helped him run away, but the lion didn't stop following the stag. Soon the stag ran into the forest, but the forest was very thick with many trees. His beautiful horns are engulfed in the branches. He tried to pull away, but he couldn't because of the long horns. Finally, the lion caught up with the stag and killed him. People often forget what is really important in our lives. The country mouse and the city mouse. One day a city mouse went to visit his friend in the country. The country mouse was very glad to see his good friend. He gave his guest the best dinner that he couldn't find. The country mouse was afraid that there was not enough food for two, so he just ate a piece of corn. His friend had some green peas, a piece of new cheese, and a ripe red apple. After the city mouse ate all the dinner, he said, "How can you live in the country, my friend? You can see nothing but forest, rivers, fields, and mountains. You must be very tired of hearing nothing but bird sounds. Come with me to the city. There you can live in a beautiful house and have good things for dinner every day. When you have lived in the city for a week, you will forget all about living in the country. So the two mice went to the city. They reached the home of the city mouse at night. You must be hungry. We worked for a long time, said the city mouse to his friend. We will have some dinner immediately. So they went to the dining room, and the city mouse found some cake and fruit. Help yourself, he said. There is enough for both of us. This is a very good dinner, said the country mouse. You are very rich, my friend. Just then the door opened, and a dog came in. The mice jumped off the table, ran, and into a hole in the floor. The poor little country mouse was so frightened. Do not be afraid, said his friend. The dog cannot come in here. Then the mice went to the kitchen. They found an apple pie on the shelf, and were enjoying a piece of it. At that moment, they saw two bright eyes watching them. The cat, cried the city mouse, and the mice quickly ran through a hole in the wall. When the country mouse could speak, they said, Goodbye, my friend. You can live in the city with the dogs and cats. I like my home in the country. In the country, the birds sing to me while I eat my simple corn and apples. In the city, the cats watch you eating your fancy cake and pie. I like my corn in safety better than your cake in the field. Better a simple meal in peace than a fancy meal in field. The Goose with the Golden Eggs. There once was a man who had a very fine goose. Every day the goose laid a golden egg. The man soon became rich, but as he became rich, he became greedy. The goose must be good inside. He thought to himself, I will open her and get all the good gold at once. So he killed the goose, but he found no gold. The man cried and said, I should have been happy with a golden egg each day. Sometimes greed makes people do foolish things. The Bear and the Travelers. One day two men were traveling together. They suddenly came across a bear. One of the men climbed quickly into the tree and tried to hide himself among its branches. The other man fell down and lay on the ground. When the bear came up and smelled him all over, the man held his breath and pretended to be dead. The bear soon left him because, as many people say, a bear will not touch a dead body. When the bear had gone, the traveler in the tree came down to join his friend. As a little joke, he said, What did the bear whisper your ear? His friend answered very seriously. He told me never travel with a friend who runs away when dangers come. A true friend is with you in good times and bad times. The Shepherd Boy and the Wolf. There once was a young shepherd boy. He watched his sheep at the bottom of a mountain. He was very lonely watching the sheep all day by himself. So one day he thought of a plan to have some fun. He ran down toward the village, calling out, Wolf, wolf. The kind villagers came out to help him, and some of them stayed with him for a while. It made the boy very happy. He decided to try the trick again a few days later. Again he ran to the village shouting, Wolf, wolf. Again the villagers came to help him, but they didn't see any wolves. But shortly after this, a wolf really did come out. Soon the wolf began to bother the sheep. The boy again cried out even louder than before, Wolf, wolf. but the villagers had been tracked twice before. They thought the boy was fooling them again, because none of them went to help the boy. The wolf ate all his sleep. No one believes a liar even when they tell the truth. The milkwoman and her pail. A farmer's daughter was carrying a pail of milk. I can make some money from selling this milk, she thought. That money will be enough to buy at least 300 eggs. The eggs will produce about 250 chickens. When the chickens grow, I will sell them in the market. After selling the chickens, I will have enough money to buy a new dress. I will wear this beautiful new dress to parties. Then all the best young men will ask me to marry them, but I will refuse at that man and just enjoy the practice. The young woman was enjoying her thoughts so much she didn't see a stone on the road. Suddenly her foot hit the stone and she fell. She dropped the pail of milk. The pig disappeared in the ground, taking away all over plains. Do not count your chickens before they are hatched. The boys and the frogs. One day, a group of boys were playing by the side of a small lake. Some of the boys threw stones into the water for fun. A lot of frogs lived in this little lake, and they kept getting hit by his stones the boys threw. Finally, a wise old frog put his head up out of the water and said, "Boys, please don't throw stones at us. We are only playing," said the boys. "I know that," said the frog, "but your stones hurt us. You may throw stones for fun, but your fun causes us great pain. One, one person's pleasure may be another's pain." The miser. A miser sold most of his land to buy a shiny piece of gold. He buried the gold in the ground by an old well and went to look at it every day. One day, one of his workers saw the miser going to the well and followed him. Soon the worker discovered the secret of the hidden treasure. When the miser was gone, he dug up the gold and stole it. The next day, the miser found that its gold had been stones. The miser cried and cried in anger and sadness. A neighbor saw the miser crying and found out what was wrong. He said, "Please don't try so much. You should go and get a stone, bury it in the garden, and pretend the stone is the piece of gold. It will be just the same as when the gold was there, because you never did anything with the gold when you had it. The true worth of money is not having it, but using it wisely." The ant and the grasshopper. The ant and the grasshopper lived in the same big field. The ant always worked hard and tried to prepare and harvest enough food for winter. Their happy neighbor, the grasshopper, couldn't understand them. He just ignored them and kept singing. When the first frost came, it ended the work of the ant and the party of the grasshopper. One winter day, the ants were buzzing, spreading their grain in the sun to dry. The grasshopper was nearing dying with hunger, so he went to the ants to ask for some food. "Good day to you, kind neighbor," said the grasshopper. "Won't you lend me a little food? I will certainly repay you before this time next year." "Why don't you have any food of your own?" asked an old ant. There was a lot of food in the big field of summer. What did you do? Oh, said the grasshopper, forgetting its hunger. I sang all the long and all night long. Well then, said the ant, if you can sing all summer, you should dance and winter, all winter. And the old ant went back to her work, singing the ant song. We ants never borrow, we ants never lend. Don't forget to prepare for bad times, even during good times. The ant and the dove. An ant was walking by the river one day, and said to himself, "How nice and cool this water looks! It must drink some of it." As he began to drink, his foot slipped and he fell in. "Oh, somebody please help me or I will win!" cried the ant. The dove sitting in a tree over the river heard him and drew him a leaf. "Climb up on the leaf," said the dove, "and the will float to the riverside." The ant climbed upon the leaf, and the wind blew it to the shore, and it stepped upon dry and again. "Thank you, kind dove," said the ant as he went home. "You have saved my leaf, and I wish I could do something for you." "Goodbye," said the dove. "Be careful not to fall in again." A few days later, when the dove was building her nest, the ant saw a hunter raising his gun to shoot her. The ant ran quickly and beat the man's foot very hard. He cried, "Oh, oh," and dropped his gun. This surprised the dove, and she flew away. After the hunter was gone, the dove came back to a nest. "Thank you, my little friend," she said. "You have saved my life." The little ant jumped for joy, because he had been unable to help the kind dove. One kind act brings another. The frog and the ox. One day an ox was walking in the wet field. He accidentally put his foot on a family of young frogs and killed most of them. However, one escaped and ran off quickly to its mother. "Oh, mother," he said, "why we were playing. A really big four-foot animal stepped on us." "Big?" asked the old frog. "How big?" She stopped in air to make herself larger and said, "As big as this." "Oh," said the little frog, "much, much bigger than that." "Well, was it this big?" She sucked in even more air. "Oh, mother, it was much bigger than that, so please stop suckling in air. You might hurt yourself." The mother frog didn't like her little one to doubt her abilities, so she tried again to become bigger. But this time she tried too hard that her body exploded. Overconfidence in her ambitions can lead to personal deserts. The wind and sun. Long, long ago, the wind and the sun were talking out to each other. They could not decide who was stronger than the other. To answer the question, they agreed to try something. Watching a passing traveler, they decided to see which of them could take off the man's coat first. The wind began to blow a cold and powerful wind, but the stronger the wind blew, the tighter the man held onto his coat. Next it was two sunstorms coming out from behind the clouds. The sunshine is warm, comfortable light down on the traveler. The traveler felt the gentle warmth on his shoulders.